Hello dear students, in this lesson I'm going to talking about percent of a number, how to find a percent of a number. When we want to find a percent of a number, we have to follow two steps. The first step is change the percent to decimal. Second step, multiply the decimal by the number. It means, example number, when you have 5% of 80. 5% of 80. First step, you have to change this percent to decimal. 5%, it means 5 out of 100. 5 divided by 100, it equal to 0 point. After this point, we should have two numbers. So 5 is one number, and then we have to write another 0. So 5 out of 100 equal to 500. After that, second step, you have to multiply the decimal by the number. You have to multiply this decimal by 80. Zero times 5 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0. After that, it's starting to multiply 8, but before we multiply, you have to write 0. 8 times 5 is 40, you have to regroup in. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4, 8 times 0 is 0, and then you have to add 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 4 is 4. After that, we have to write the decimal point in the product. After this, in the first number, after this point, we have two numbers. So you have to skip two numbers and then write the decimal point. So 5% of 80 equal to 4. Example number 2, 200% of 190. So first step, we have to change this percent to decimal. We have 200 and we have 200%. Always we have to divide the percent number by 100. So 200 divided by 100 equal to 2. After that, we have to multiply this number by 190. 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 9 is 18, we have to regroup in. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So 200 of 190 equal to 380. Example number 3, we have 150% of 40. First, you have to divide this percent by 100. 150 divided by 100 equal to, we can use long division. 150 divided by 150 divided by 100 is 1. 1 times 100 equal to 100. 150 minus 100 is 50. After that, you have to write decimal point and 0. Write the decimal point, the quotient, and bring down 0. 500 divided by 100 is 5. 5 times 100 equal to 500. And then, so 150 divided by 100 is 1.5. After that, you have to multiply this decimal number by 14. 1.5 multiplied by 14. 4 times 5 is 20, we have to regroup in. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. After that, you have to write 0. 1 times 5 is 5, and 1 times 1 is 1. 0 times 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 6 plus 5 is 11, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So 150% of 14 equal to 210. Example number 4, we have 2% of 37. So first we have to change this percent and divide it by 100. We have 2% 2 divided by 100. So we have to write 0 point. After this point we should have two numbers, but 2 is one number. We have to add another 0. So the decimal point or the decimal number for 2 out of 100 equal to 200. After that you have to multiply this decimal by 37. 37 multiplied by 0.02. 2 times 7 is 14. We have to regroup in. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. And then after 2 it's starting to multiply these two zeros by this number, but it doesn't need to multiply these two zeros by the number, because we will get some zeros, so we can skip it. After that you have to write the decimal point in the product. After this point you have two numbers, so you have to skip two numbers and then write the decimal point. 1, 2. You have to add another 0. So 2% of 37 equal to 0.74. Example number 5, you have 23% of 175. First step, you have to change this percent to decimal number. 23 divided by 100 equal to 0.23. After that you have to multiply this decimal number by 175. 175 multiplied by 0.23. 3 times 5 is 15. We have to regroup in. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 1, 22. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. After that we have to write 0, and then 2 times 5 is 10. We have to regroup in. 2 times 7 is 14 plus 1 is 15. We have to regroup in. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. And then we have to add the products. 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 0 is 2. 5 plus 5 is 10. We have to regroup in. 1 plus 3 is 4. After that, we have to write the decimal point in the product. In the second number, after this point, we have two numbers. So we have to skip two numbers and then write the decimal point. 1, 2. So the answer is 40.25. And the second part of this lesson, find the sales tax. How to find the sales tax. Example number 1, you have a price for something is 12,500 dinars and tax rate is 5%. First step, we have to change this percent to decimal. We have 5%, it means 5 out of 100 equal to 0.05. After that, you have to multiply this decimal by the prices. 12,500 multiplied by 0.05. 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 5 is 25. You have to regroup in. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 2 is 12. Again, we have to regroup in. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. After that, you have to write the decimal point in the product. In the second number, after this point, you have two numbers. We have to skip two numbers and then write the decimal point. So the sales tax is 625. Example number 2, we have a price 150,000 5 dinar, sorry, 150,500 dinars, and tax rate is 8.5%. First of all, always we have to divide the percent by 100. 8.5 divided by 100. And then now I will teach you a small trick when we divide a decimal number by power of 10, like 100, like 10, like 1000. 8.5 divided by 100. In division, this point move to the left side. 100 has 2 zeros, so this point move 2 steps to the left side. 1 and 2. You have to write another 0. After that, you have to write the decimal point and another 0. So the quotient is 0.085. After that, we have to multiply this decimal number by the prices. 115,500 multiplied by 0.085. 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 5 is 25. We have to regroup in. 5 times 0 is 0 plus 2 is 2, and 5 times 5 is 25. You have to regroup in. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 equal to 7. After that, you have to write 0, and then 8 times 0 is 0, 8 times 0 is 0, 8 times 5 is 40. We have to regroup in. 8 times 0 is 0 plus 4 is 4, and 8 times 5 is 40. We have to regroup in, and 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. Now we have to add the products. 0 plus 0 is 0, and 0 plus 0 again is 0, 5 plus 0 is 5, 2 plus 0 is 2, 5 plus 4 is 9, 7 plus 0 is 7, 1, 2. After that, we have to write the decimal point in the product. In the second number, after this point, we have 3 numbers. We have to skip 3 numbers and then write the decimal point. So the answer, or the sale tax, is 12,792.5.